We're ready to go? All right, good evening. Very serious situation brought to conclusion. Great work done by ESU and our hostage negotiators. Our Chief of Department, Jeffrey Maddrey, is going to give everyone an update. But before he does that, I just want to remind people that this is what our department does every single day in and day out. The restraint, the professionalism, the skill is unmatched. Very good job by these guys tonight. And you're going to get an update from our Chief of Department, Jeffrey Maddrey. Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Good evening. This information I'm about to provide is the initial details of an event that unfolded earlier today. The information is subject to change as this information and investigation is ongoing. But around 7:45 p.m. today, a male walked into the Darwin Money Transfer store. It's a check cash and money exchange place. He walked into the building. He was there acting like he was going to conduct a transaction, and then he announced a robbery. At the time when he was in the location, there was two workers and one customer in the facility. One of the employees was able to escape, and they were able to call 911, and they received an immediate response here from the 83rd Precinct. When the officers respond, they saw that the door to the premises was barricaded with multiple chairs, which alerted them that something was going on, and they immediately reached assistance. They received assistance from police officers from the precinct, from the detective squad, from our emergency service unit, from our hostage negotiators, from our technical assistance response unit. We immediately deployed drones up, and we started to dialogue with the male. The male, during the course of this dialogue, which has lasted about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, the male was at a window. He pointed a firearm out the window at members of emergency service. He put the firearm to the head of one of the hostages inside. Our emergency service unit showed great restraint. They did not fire their weapons back after having a gun pointed at them. This is why they're the best emergency service unit in the world. They showed tremendous restraint. They negotiated along with our hostage negotiators, and they were able to talk this male for over 2 hours. They talked to the male, and eventually the male climbed out of a window in the rear of the building, down a ladder, and he surrendered to the police officers. The officers were able to secure him. He started hyperventilating. They treated him. They got EMS to him. They recovered a firearm. They recovered a firearm that the male had, and we learned that the firearm was fake. So right now the male is removed to a local area hospital. The two hostages are at a local area hospital, and this investigation will be continued by members of the 83rd Precinct Detective Squad. Thank you.
As the chief said, the information is preliminary, and it is subject to change. Look for a follow-up from DCPI with a picture of the firearm being sent out to all the news desks and on our social media. All right, thanks. Good night.
Question?
Yep, sure.
Any of the hostages injured, or any devices or any things used to keep the hostages maybe tied up or anything?
No, the hostages weren't restrained. The hostages weren't injured. However, he did put a firearm to one of the hostages' head, so of course you could imagine how frightened she was. But the hostages were good. They were calm. They worked with us, and they gave emergency services and our hostage negotiators enough time to talk him out.
What are some of the protocols that goes into the hostage negotiations, like training-wise, to bring something like a suspect like this down?
Our hostage negotiators, they go through a series of training all around the world with different police departments, and they understand. First, they have to understand what the situation is. As we were going through this investigation, we learned that this man might have been experiencing some money trouble. having problems with making his rent, maybe some gambling issues that are still being worked out. So once you understand what's going on, the detectives are able to use the proper amount of empathy. They're able to relate to him. They're able to offer services. We did at one point get his brother. His brother was able to help us communicate. Eventually, his wife, one of his sons, came to the scene. We were able to use them, and then more and more family members came, and we were able to use them to leverage his surrender.
Is the suspect injured? What's last? I heard hyperventilating.
He was hyperventilating. When he came out of the window, he did come down a ladder. It looks like he, towards the end, he kind of lost his footing, but he's all right. He's a male, I believe 38 years old. He's a local. He lives locally, but like I said, this is still under investigation.
Can we tell us how many members of the department may have been deployed? It looks like a large area scene.
This is going to be the last question, but we do not tell exactly what numbers. We had a substantial amount of resources that came to the scene because it was a serious situation, very active and serious situation.
Any members of the force injured?
No, at this time we have no injuries to any members of the force. All right, thank you.